marketing department, sales strategic teams. I personally believe that everybody from the C-suite down to the most recently brought on board intern for the organization has to be equally adept at telling that company's brand story to the audience. And what that really means is creating what I believe are the three pillars of great corporate communication. And they are value, passion, and connection. And the more aligned we can get all of our people within our company on those three issues, value, passion, and connection, the stronger our corporate story is going to be. So very quickly, value. Most companies tend to look internally for their value. We build a phenomenal product. We create a great service, a great solution. Let us tell you about it. Well, that particular value may be the value to the bottom line of the organization in terms of their income, in terms of their percentages, in terms of their board profits. But really, the value has to be about the customer themselves. What value do we create for the people that we want to communicate and connect with? If we can create value for others, they will in turn create value for us. And everybody within the hierarchy of the corporate structure needs to understand what is our value to other people and how do we convey that value. Second is, what is the passion that we bring to what we do? And again, everyone from the newest intern to the top C-suite director has to understand, what do we care about within the company? And if what we care about is sales, then anyone in the world can smell that a mile off. If we're just about the bottom line, it means that we're pitching to a wallet instead of communicating with a fellow human being. We have to be passionate about what we do, because when we demonstrate passion for our brand, we inspire passion in others who want to be a part of that brand. And we see passion brands every day out there that really, really do create that connection with us and make us want to be a part of their corporate culture. And then number three, connection, that third pillar. Connection only comes when we tell personal human stories that other people can see and recognize. So there are a lot of different examples that I can give about how that connection story takes place, but we call this brain coupling. And it's a concept that means when we expose ourselves in an emotional way, when we talk about what really matters to us, what makes us happy, what makes us sad or disappointed, what our victories are, as well as what our failures are. When we open ourselves up emotionally, we become more human in our corporate branding, and that helps other humans to feel a direct connection with us, which builds credibility and builds trust within the marketplace. So everyone in the hierarchy should focus on value, passion, and connection to create a stronger brand that gets deeper inroads with your intended marketplace.
Right, Steve. You have worked with some of the world's biggest brands: Cisco, Splunk, Fujifilm, HP, Siemens, NTT Data, Bayer, Xerox, Panasonic. 20,000 talks and broadcast presentations to connect Fortune brands to their customers, partners, and media analysts by all through corporate storytelling. How does this process begin? How is it the same thing as public relations? How is it different? Is it the same thing? And if it's the same thing, why do they need corporate storytellers to bring out that value? Why is it that they are not able to achieve the same thing through advertising or public relations? Help us, get it as something like a step by step for a general person to understand how is it different than a lot of other things that is does.
Absolutely, Ajay. And that's a great question. And I love the differentiation that you brought up there. I think it is vitally important. So when we talk about PR is usually connected more with community outreach. How are we perceived within, again, our intended marketplace or within our corporate sector? What is the public's perspective or view of our brand and how our brand serves or does not serve the marketplace? And it's a lot about putting out fires. When we have a problem, we call in our PR department to make sure that we don't suffer any additional losses or bad press or bad media relations. This is usually where PR tends to live. When we talk corporate storytelling, this goes to the always contentious and yet vitally important relationship between sales and marketing. Salespeople don't tend to trust marketing people. Marketing people don't tend to trust salespeople. We know this. It's because even though we're all seeking the same end goal, we frequently disagree on how to get to that end goal, which means we're at cross purposes with one another. And what it usually boils down to go to your question, is expertise. So expertise is fantastic within our industry, within what we do. If we are expert at it, then we are exactly the right voices to be telling this story. You are an expert. You're hosting this podcast right now. I'm an expert on what I do. I am a guest on your podcast right now. But here's the problem. Expertise can also blind us because it makes us think that we already know it. We understand it. We are the leaders. We've put in enough time and enough effort to be the leading voice. And what we find is a lot of corporations, they get trapped in their own expertise. Nobody has to tell me how to do it any better. I already know this. When it comes to sales, look at your sales leaders within any organization. And most likely they're saying, hey, I'm the top salesperson. What do I have to learn? What do I need to learn? I'm already leading the pack. Same thing on the marketing side or with advertising agencies. I already have all of these fantastic clients. What more do I need to know? You're coming to me because I'm the expert. A good corporate story requires us to step back and say, of course, we're very good at what we do. However, we can always be that much better. We can always tell that much better a corporate story. I usually use an analogy of an Olympic skier. So if we say in the last Winter Olympics, the person who won the gold medal in the Super G downhill won by 7/100ths of a second. That person, the best on the planet, still works with a coach. They still try to become that much better. When Michael Jordan was playing for the Chicago Bulls, I'm a Chicago guy. Guess what? He still worked with a coach. When Tiger Woods was leading the world, his father was still his coach. These are people who were not necessarily better at the person who they were coaching, but they were there to help bring out the best possible story or performance from that person. And guess what? If we don't get better at telling our corporate story, then in the next Winter Olympics, the silver medalists from last time, they will win by 7/100ths of a second because you know they are out there honing and perfecting their story to be the best next time around. And you want to think about this within your own business as well. Your competition is constantly working to improve their story and their value, passion, and connection to their marketplace. And if you don't try to create a better corporate story, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage, and likely you will not make the gold medal stand the next time. You may not even make the podium altogether. So I hope that answers your question, the difference between PR and good corporate storytelling from a sales and marketing perspective.
Yeah, yes.